Hello friends, today we will talk about resource hierarchy. What are resource policies in GCP? Purpose of using Google Cloud's resource manager? Whether we can have resources that is not a part of GCP's resource hierarchy? Monitor resource usage? Advantages of organization policies? Billing accounts? Policy as code? Best practices for organizing projects? Enforce data retention and data deletion policies? Network and firewall policies? Changing parent folder? Delegate billing and cost management, project level IM policies, challenges of managing complex resource hierarchy, domain restricted sharing organization policies, and common use cases for using custom roles in GCP's IM. So let's get started. What are the resource policies in GCP and how do they relate to the resource hierarchy? Resource policies are a set of conditions that can be applied to resource in GCP. So policies are set of conditions. They can be used to enforce policies related to resource creation, deletion, and modification within the hierarchy. So there can be policies related to multiple actions. What is the purpose of using Google Cloud Resource Manager for managing your resource hierarchy? Google Cloud's Resource Manager provides tools and APIs for managing and organizing resources within GCP projects, folders, and organization. So, basically, Resource Manager provides tools and APIs. And you have resources that are not part of any project or folder in GCP's resource hierarchy. So, generally, we have seen that resources are under this project, right? Can the resources be there without any project or folder? No. All GCP resources are associated with project. Projects are organized within folders and organization. Every resource belongs to a specific project. So it is not possible to have resource which is not assigned to any project. What are some strategies for efficient cost allocation? So we are looking for efficient cost allocation within a GCP resource. What we should do? Efficient cost allocation involves using billing labels, setting up separate projects for cost center, and leveraging shared VPCs. So these are the steps or these are the actions that we do for efficient cost allocation. In the earlier questions that were presented in my previous video, we discussed how billing levels are used, right? We are setting up separate project for cost center. That is also another need for efficient cost allocation and leveraging VPCs. This also we saw that VPCs are getting shared, right, across multiple projects. So next question: how can you monitor resource usage and access across GCP resource hierarchy? You are trying to monitor resources usage and access across GCP resource hierarchy. Monitoring can be done through Google Cloud's monitoring and logging tool, which will provide visibility into resource performance, access, and security events. How can you track and report on resource usage for auditing purpose within GCP resource hierarchy? You can use Google Cloud's audit logging and activity monitoring. So, audit logging and activity monitoring are the tools to track and report on resource usage because it can provide audit trail for compliance and security purpose. What is the impact of resource hierarchy on project quotas and limits in GCP? Project quotas and limits are applied at project level because it is a project quota. Therefore, the resources and services available to the project within resource hierarchy may be subject to specific limits. What are the advantages of using organization policies in GCP's resource hierarchy? So, if we use organizational policies in GCP resource hierarchy, what is the advantage? We have understood that policy are so we have understood already organization is the top node. Now, if you are deploying the policy at the organization level, then you can enforce consistent rules across all projects folders within your organization because these are the child of organization, right? So this is enforced on projects and folders, ensuring compliance and security standards are met. Next question: can you assign different billing accounts to projects within same folder in GCP resource hierarchy? No. Billing accounts are associated with organization, not folder. Projects within same folder Projects within same folder share the same billing account associated with the parent organization. What role does GCP's policy as PSC framework play in managing resource hierarchy? PSC means policy as code, right? PSC allows you to codify and automate policy enforcement. By definition, this is the meaning, right? Within your resource hierarchy, making it easier to maintain and manage policies at scale. How can you restrict a user's access to specific resource within a project in GCP's resource hierarchy? So you are trying to restrict a user's access to specific resource. So IAM is the mechanism which controls access. So we have to use IAM roles and custom roles to define fine-grained access controls, granting permission only to the necessary resources within a project. What are the best practices for organizing projects within folders in GCP? What are the what are some best practices for organizing project within folders in GCP? Best practices include grouping projects by business unit, application type, or environment, like production, like development, staging, production, to facilitate efficient management and access control. What are the benefits of using resource labels for organizing and tracking resource? Resource label helps you categorize and track resources, making it easier to allocate cost, enforce policies, and manage resources effectively. How can you enforce data retention and deletion policies within GCP resource hierarchy? Data retention and deletion processes can be enforced using IAM policies, cloud storage object lifecycle policies, and other GCP features designed for data management and compliances. What role does organization play in billing and cost management within GCP's resource hierarchy? Organization serves as a billing entity for GCP. All billing accounts are associated with organization. It plays a central role in managing and allocating cost across the hierarchy. Quite obvious because manager is the top node and billing is attached to the organization. How can you enforce network and firewall policies across multiple projects in a GCP resource hierarchy? You can use shared VPCs and firewall rules to enforce network and security policies consistently across projects within the same organization or folder. What is the purpose of setting up a resource hierarchy policy in GCP? What is the impact of changing parent folder of a project in GCP's resource hierarchy? So if I change the parent folder, what will happen? Changing the parent folder of a project may affect the application of folder level policies and access control. So it should be done with caution. Next, how can you enforce compliance and security standards consistently across all projects in an organization in GCP? You can use organization level policies. That's what you have already guessed it. So you have to use organization level policies, custom roles, and resource hierarchy policies to enforce consistent compliance. We already discussed this, right? So you are deploying that organization, all the child of that organization are bound to follow the same, follow the same policies, custom roles, resource hierarchy, etc. Resource hierarchy policies, etc. What are the key considerations for setting up a resource hierarchy for a multi-cloud or in hybrid cloud environment? So, if you have a multi-cloud or hybrid cloud environment, what is the meaning of multi-cloud hybrid cloud? Where you have more than one cloud, or you have cloud plus on-premise architecture. In a multi-cloud or hybrid cloud environment, consider aligning your resource hierarchy with the organizational structure and resource management needs of all cloud providers involved. How can you delegate billing and cost management responsibilities within a GCP organization? You can delegate billing and cost management responsibilities by assigning billing account administrator and billing account users roles to specific user. What is a project factory in the context of GCP resource hierarchies? It is a project factory is a set of automated process and templates used to create new project consistently, following established best practices and policies. So it is two things about factory is automated process and template used to create new project. Why this templates is used? Because to make it fast and make it consistent. What what role do service accounts play in resource access management within a GCP resource hierarchy? Service accounts are used to grant permission to application script and services running within a project, allowing them to interact with GCP resources. How can you view cost breakdown by folders in GCP's resource hierarchy? We need to refer Google Console's billing report and filtering through project folder level or project level. So you first need to see the get the entire billing report from that filter by level, which is quite obvious by the common sense. What is the significance of project level IAM policies in GCP resource hierarchy? Project level IAM policies allow you to grant permission to specific user or group within a project, enabling fine grained access control. Can you set up billing alerts or notification for specific folders? Yes, you can set up billing alerts or notification at billing account level and filter them based on project or folder labels. What are some challenges associated with managing complex resource hierarchy in GCP? Challenges may include ensuring consistent policy enforcement, avoiding overuse of custom roles, and maintaining a clear organization structure as the hierarchy grows. How does GCP handle resource dependencies across different level of hierarchy? GCP generally allows for resource dependencies to exist across different levels, but you need to manage and plan these dependencies carefully and avoid conflicts and access issues. What is the purpose of domain restricted sharing organization policy in GCP? Domain restricted sharing policy restrict the sharing of resource with external domains, enhancing security by limiting resource access to trusted domains. What is the role of identity platform in GCP's resource hierarchy? And how does it relate to access control? Identity platform provides authentication service and can be used in conjunction with IAM to manage user access and authentication for GCP resources. How can you implement a resource hierarchy policy to enforce naming convention for resources? Resource hierarchy policies can include condition for resource naming convention, ensuring that resources are named consistently and according to the organizational standard. What is the purpose of setting up a resource hierarchy for a development, staging, and production environment in GCP? Organizing environment within a resource hierarchy allows for clear separation, access control, and resource management for different stages of application development. Can you apply different resource labels to the same resource within a GCP project? So you have one resource and you want to add multiple label to the same resource. Yes, you can apply because you need to categorize it different ways for billing and management. What are some common use cases for using custom roles in GCP IAM? Custom roles are useful for defining specific access permission tailored to the needs of your organization, such as granting access to particular resources or actions not covered by predefined roles. So, with that, I come to the end of with this we come to the end of this discussion. Please like and share the video and stay in touch with me by subscribing the channel and hitting the bell icon.